Welcome back. Yes, this is going to be a very interesting read, especially during the silly season. And I did have to look because, there was a lot of Neptunian energy really coming through, with the frequency of the psychic energy that divine feminine was picking up, of the spiritual intuitive energy, divine masculine was picking up. So if you haven't seen those, go through and have a look. We have we have masculine, feminine, and karmic each time. So yes, as these are released, there are the other sets. Now, what I'm seeing from the karmic third parties energy this week is pretty interesting, and especially because when I do see the actual energy coming through psychically, I also do see the link spiritually from an astrological point of view as well. Look, we do have Mars retrograde. We're also in the silly season. And yes, in fact, Neptune is shadow direct at this point in time. I'm seeing a lot of purple coming through in this read, especially when it relates to the chakras. As we give you a close-up view at the bottom row, we do have a requirement that this person with the white card coming through gets into a chakra mindset. Now, it's almost like an out of alignment energy, a requirement for alignment to come in. And the yellow energy is really coming through from Mars with the inner child and the confidence and the creativity, maybe some family issues coming up with this individual. The crowning energy actually is in a reversal, and it's closed off. It's very blurred as well, so their vision within this context is very distorted. Again, another significant frequency where I was sensing that Neptune had some involvement with this situation. For some, it could be that this individual does have a habit of some description. There can be maybe some addictive tendencies as a possibility. The other can be that the pressure points are really causing this, sort of like disillusionment of a situation, really closed off, very protective. Can be some insecurities coming up. It could be because there was a breakdown in the circumstance. But I do directly see that the confidence and the confidence isn't completely there. The other, significant energy is the past tense position, self-nurturing. Although this card isn't orange, when we do have an overactivity of this frequency, yes, there is a possibility of, control and addictive tendencies and self-righteousness. It's not that it's a negative reading. It's just in the whole context of what I'm picking up psychically, there are some troubles in paradise. So this person may have been nurturing themselves, maybe not paying attention to other things that were going on. And where they come to in the heart space and the current position of where they're at, we do have the purple energy. And it's an unhappy, spiritually disillusioned state of being. So something has happened to shift this whole dynamic. Maybe the person was going through, and sometimes it can be a connection actually causes this. It's almost like both parties aren't on the same page. So this self-righteousness can come in and it's like, well, you know what? I'm going to go and focus on me. Even though it might not be the most positive way to deal with the energy, where we could get in and address the elephant in the room, we can be projectile and then look at, okay, well, I'm doing me. So in doing themselves, which again, it doesn't mean to say every relationship should do this or that this is healthy on either side of the fence. It's that this person needed to potentially invest in themselves, to nurture themselves. It could have accidentally come through selfishly and caused some conflict in the direct connection. In the heart space, as I mentioned, what is love? They're questioning it. They could have some real traditional values, what love looks like. And do they have to be traditional? Sometimes when we hear that, especially coming through a karmic read, we could get quite triggered by it because we could think, well, however this person came into being in this connection may not have been traditional. So therefore, why would we say that this is traditional? I feel it's more their spiritual value system, the ethics of how they were raised, and what their benchmark of what their needs are in this connection, especially when it comes to this direct, intimate connection. I feel this person is wanting things to look very different to how they currently are. I do feel they're also going to connect in with the individual they're involved with. I'm hearing the term interception. And it feels as though they want to address the elephant in the room. Although it isn't looking positive. Because unless they know the purpose of what they're moving in for, the other individual who is or was involved with them, because for some it is or was, they're very clear about what they're doing. And so they're going to be very clear and concise about how things made them feel. And it's quite cutting. They're also not going to be able to maybe pull the wool over this person's eyes because, again, they've received a feeling about this in a very different fashion than this individual intended. Okay, there is a need really, and this has actually caused some conflict for the person. This is where this person is feeling as though in order to rise like the phoenix, in order to deal with things, they need to get into alignment. There could be an out of alignment energy, although it doesn't appear to be that this person is seeing it, but we will come back and clarify on this. There is a lack of confidence really in proceeding forward. There is some insecurities that are coming up. There could be some conflict within a family dynamic or a living arrangement. And where it does come to the actual connection overall, it is Neptunian. And it's funny, a lot of times we can actually research in your birth charts, cross-referencing between two charts. Is it a Plutonian relationship? And it's funny that it's coming through Neptunian because I also was feeling Plutonian, which is more a karmic relationship in nature. That's not to say we can't have those deep, intimate connections, but it's funny that this card, just prior to the outcome card, is limitations, and the card's actually in reverse. Again, we are still seeing the purple coming through. We are still seeing the dream versus the reality, what they're wanting to change, what they're going for, what their goal is, what they feel they're actually going to achieve. Now, although we do have loved, and I get this as past tense, this can be connecting back in with this person or another. But I am going to clarify it, but I do get it as sort of like not love, as in loved, past tense. So there's something about this future that they're not perceiving correctly, and they're hoping that something can go back to the way it was. We're going to have a look at this crowning energy and see what universe wants to tell us. Okay. And I have tried to make these a little bit longer this week for a bit more support and guidance. So I hope they're actually finding you well. I hope you're caring for yourself during the silly season. And if you do need that extra support, you can come through and join a YouTube membership, especially for cross watchers. Those on an awakened path. Now, could we utilize these readings to see how we are dealing with that shadow? 100%. That's a healthy way also of re-reviewing it and seeing how, you know, outside of the fence, what can be coming up. Okay, what do we need to know about this insecure energy, this closed off, this feeling of being shut out maybe, and not belonging? Look inside yourself, examine what is causing you to feel this way. Yeah, it is a feeling. See, it is to do with confidence. It is to do with this person's perception and beliefs. Okay, what caused this individual to need to go into self-nurture or choose to go into it? Okay, and I will pull a separate clarifier to see what that looked like. Could have been overindulgence. It might have been resting. Yeah, okay, drinking. Playfulness, laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together, and remember, love is your greatest healer. This was the clarifier. It's maybe the thought after the fact. It could be, this could have, okay, I'll pull a clarifier because they give me a few stories. Make sure I got the right card. It's very blurred. It's almost like they're looking at it with a kind of blurred vision. Okay, who is the fifth place? They're saying that the person wasn't themselves. This could have been with a work colleague. It could be socializing. It might have been, yeah, just maybe listening to some friends. But it was stepping back, and it was, yeah, it was a test to the commitment. Okay, something could have tested it. It could have been that they made a mistake and it's caused conflict, or it could have been that they were really guided to deal with the stress levels within the connection and nurture the connection, but they might have been nurturing themselves, and that simply isn't working anymore. Okay, back into the heart space. What is this disillusionment occurring in the heart space, please? Why is this occurring? Okay, they've got some spiritual work to do, but there also could be some projection towards the other individual inside the connection, especially with disagreements around the silly season. Yeah, and okay, it's, you know, really it's quite strange. It's almost like they feel this person's off doing their life and they're left alone, and they feel disillusioned by it. This person's actually, who they're dealing with, has really changed quite a bit. I'm hearing two's company, three's crowd. Okay, what is this? Where is this communication going with this individual? It's very cutting. It's like belief systems, protectiveness. Oh, okay. This person may be saying, look, I don't feel the same anymore. I'm very disconnected. Although you may have some feelings about it, I don't see the storyline the same way. There also could be, for some, a question mark over another person and an interference. Could it be the divine connection? It could be, but they're also referencing the karmic having an individual. Does it have to be of a romantic nature? No. Yeah, so some shady behaviours being exposed, or some behavioural patterns also. It could just be behavioural patterns. So they really don't know what to do now. They have been given advice, and, you know, it's a bitter pill to swallow. This could be to do with alignment and getting life together and caring for themselves and what they're going to do with their future, and they can feel quite isolated with this. They were hoping that this person would actually, how can I explain? This person's been quite frustrated. This person that is dealing with the karmic had felt very stuck, and it hasn't, it's almost like if they've had to care for them or some shape or form, they actually now are articulating that this feels like a burden. And this also can be coming in through the grapevine. I feel that the karmic is actually discussing this with a group of friends or family. And again, I do sense a pushback there. I do feel that they're saying, well, you know, this person's actually being quite supportive towards you under the circumstances, and they only can go so far with that. And although the karmic is very surprised, the other individuals really aren't surprised with this. Okay, they've sort of imagined this person to be the magic solution. Okay, what is the reality of this place? Okay, there could be a bit of codependency, a bit of expectation. They're also saying you can't lose something that you never really had. Like, this has been slipping through their fingers for some time. This person's trying to repent and change things, but the individual involved with them, as far as they're concerned, it's really, really over. I do feel for some this can be, how would I say it? Again, I did really pick up on this, loved. Now, for some, this, especially this edition, it can really be speaking to those that have been on the rocks for a while. Could also be a connection that was there for a very long time. Chance and time again has been given. Expectations surrounding the silly season. I feel this person is quite occupying themselves, especially if they're still within the connection. I do feel the conversation has actually happened about how they feel and where their heart is. I don't feel this person's taking it too kindly. I do also feel, like I said, if they are in this connection, they're otherwise occupying their time. They're doing the things they need to from a social responsibility point of view, but there really isn't any love here in this connection any longer. And I feel even though they're trying to get this back to where it is, they're feeling very anxious and frustrated. And they're really being called and guided to accept the outcome, accept with gratitude what they did have. And now, anywhere where they had codependency, this person's giving them a little bit of grace to get their crap together, but otherwise they've really made their decision. This was loved, and it's out of love because the person loved them, cared for them as a friend. They are allowing this person to resolve it, but the exit stage is here. If you do want to join our YouTube membership for the next edition come through, yes, we will be transitioning next year, although I will maintain the membership here on YouTube until it is launched. So stay tuned and come through and grab the support over the silly season. We'd love to be here for you.